Start with that. All right. All right. Looks like I've got everyone present. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and we are on the record and we are live streaming. All right, good morning, everybody. We're here for our pretrial docket. State, would you please announce your presence?
Absolutely. Lawrence Rabb for the state, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
All right.
Oh, hold on. All right. Looks like everyone present. There we go. Take care of my echo. Okay, I'm going to take the folks who don't have too many cases. Let's see. Let me start with Mr. Casassa. Good morning.
Judge, how are you?
Well, sir, how are you?
Good. I've got 3 cases, Judge.
Yes, sir.
First one I've got on my docket is David Holliday.
Yes.
Looks like 20 CT 2202.
Okay.
This is relatively new, Judge. I'm going to request a continuance. I'm trying to get him to do some mitigating factors. I think this is going to ultimately wind up being a plea, but I'm going to request a continuance of the waiver.
All right. State no objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Then we'll put this for pretrial on. Oh, a moment. There you go. Looks like I've got March
3rd at 9 a.m., Your Honor.
March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
That's perfect, Judge.
All right.
I've also got Colleen Shalis, which is, there's 2 cases, 20 CT 1374 and 20 MM 1120.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I've gotten a video through Google Drive through the Sheriff's Department. For the life of me, I have this problem occasionally, but I can't get it to play. So we're attempting to get another one. So I'm going to ask for the court's indulgence and request another continuance with a waiver.
State.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. March 3rd at 9.
Both cases, Judge?
Yep.
That's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. And, you know, I probably should have said this to everyone else. That's at the beginning. So I am primary for jury trials in 2 weeks, for the week of February 8th. Our numbers seem to be going down in Collier County. So at least as of right now, starting next week, we are going to have, start having jurors in the building. You know, assuming the numbers keep going the way they are. So I do intend to have some jury trials the week of February 8th. If you want to set the matter for trial, we're going to have a status docket on February 8th at 9 o'clock. It'll be strictly status. No jurors, no witnesses, defendants, you know, presence are still waived because we're going to do it on Zoom. And then the trials will begin Tuesday, February 9th, if all goes well. Bear in mind, I do intend to issue a motion cutoff date on February 5th at 5 p.m., which is that Friday. Just because given the limited time we have with jurors, I don't want to spend any time dealing with pretrial motions. As long as you get your motion, you know, in and filed by Friday the 5th at 5 o'clock, we can address it that following Monday afternoon if necessary, you know, or if appropriate, there'll be grounds for a continuance. But no pretrial motions will be dealt with the jurors in the building. We have to maximize, you know, the utility of their time. Okay. All right. With that being said, let's see. Mr. Kimideko, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. I believe I have 2 up today.
All right.
Ms. Grabowski, that's going to be 20 CT 1615. Your Honor, do you have any in-person plea dates that I can have?
Let me take a look. Your client's out of custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
Take a look here. Sorry, normally I would do it during my trial week, but I'm hoping to actually have trial. I can do Monday, February 1st at 1:30.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
State, does that
Yes.
work for you?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. So, it's my non-jury trial docket, but I've had 2 non-jury trials in the last 4 years, or 3. They just don't tend to go very often, so I feel comfortable taking some pleas during that docket.
Very well.
All right.
And Your Honor, I have one more, and that's going to be Mr. Brown. That's 20 MM 847. And Your Honor, I would ask for the same day and time for an in-person if possible.
All right. I don't have a Mr. Brown on my docket.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. I apologize.
All right. Garrick Johnson, this is 20 MM 847. State, does that work for you still? Monday the 1st at 1:30 for a plea?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right. Let's do it then.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
You as well. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Oh, someone took a picture of me. All right. Mr. Kavanaugh, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I'm here.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Doing well.
Okay, so I've got 2. I've got Abraham Schiffman. His case number is 20 MM 1836. He, on an unrelated case, has recently entered mental health court and had been released from custody. I'm going to be speaking to him a little more and just would ask for a continuance with a waiver, please.
All right. State.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
And the other case that I have is Mark McDonough, and he is 20 CT 1751. I just recently asked for a plea offer, and I don't think we have all the medical records on him yet. This was a medical. So I'd request a continuance with a waiver with him as well.
All right. State, no objection?
No objection, and we'll get you the discovery, Mr. Kavanaugh.
All right, very good. March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. You too. Juliet Chavib. Counsel, you there? I thought I saw you. Please unmute.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, Counsel?
I'm well, thank you. My case number is 20 CT 1859. Defendant's name is Oliver Carrillo Ramos.
Yes, ma'am. What would you like to do?
I would like to set it for a plea, preferably Monday, February 1st, Your Honor.
Okay. State, does that
No
work for you?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. No objection.
All right. All right. Monday the 1st at 1:30 for a plea.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you as well.
Take care.
Take care.
All right. Ms. Contreras, are you there? Oh, I need you to unmute.
Good morning, Your Honor. Yeah.
Oh, good morning, Counsel. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, ma'am. I've got Joaquin Morales, 20 CT 2451.
Yes, Your Honor. He is currently under ICE custody, so I would like to request a continuance.
Okay. State, no objection?
No objection. If counsel can just put on the record that for the continuance, if there's a
Right.
reason aside from custody. I know this is it looks like a new case.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the state.
He's asking for why you want to continue the case.
Oh, because if my client is under ICE custody, his
Okay.
next immigration hearing is in February 8th. So I'm awaiting to see what's going to happen.
Okay.
So I
So, Ms. Robb, what she's saying is she doesn't want to resolve a criminal case until she knows his status with his immigration hearing.
Not a problem. No objection, Your Honor.
Sounds like a good reason to me. Okay. March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. I think I saw Mr. Braxton sign in. You there, sir?
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Good morning.
Can you see me? I have like 3 Zooms going at the same time here.
Yes, sir. I
Judge,
can
thank
see.
you. I have Lindsay Walker, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. 20 CT 1648. Go ahead.
Judge, Miss Sebsini and I have worked this out. It's going to be a PIA. I emailed her all the paperwork yesterday up in Michigan, and she's going to get prints. Can I have a date in a few weeks for a PIA? I got to get everything filed and with the clerk and get her prints and everything so we can take care of this.
All right. I can do pleas in absentia on the pretrial docket. It doesn't take very long.
Okay, whatever's good for you, Judge.
Let's just go ahead and continue it to another pretrial, and I can resolve it at that time.
And what day, Judge?
That's March 3rd at 9 o'clock. Does that work for you, sir?
March 3rd. Yeah, let me just check this, Judge. Yeah, that should be perfect, Judge. And I'll get the PIA filed over at the clerk, and we'll e-file everything. Okay?
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. Mr. Gorgon, you there?
Yes, I am here, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Your Honor, I have Mr. Terrell cases. I don't know if you have it in front of you. The prime mover case is 18 CT 2900. It's a DUI from 2018. Bench warrants come back. We had a motion to set bond denied yesterday, and he, I guess, wants to fire me. I think I'm his third attorney. I don't want to say it's not a real conflict issue. I mean, the prior two attorneys, I don't think they were conflict issues. It's a personality.
Well, Mr. Gorgon, are you appointed or are you hired privately?
I'm appointed on this case, Your Honor.
Okay.
So I've got an offer. He can plea out anytime he wants. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to take it to trial. I think in the interest of justice, we should place this on a hearing date where he can come into court.
All right. So I'm hearing a few different things from you. Do I need to set a Nelson hearing in this case?
It's like, I tell him, yes, Your Honor, because he doesn't understand. I told him, you need to file something to the clerk. And he just keeps rambling.
Okay.
I think it'd be interest for all parties for him to be in court. You said Monday 1st, February 1st. Do you have a date that I could be there in person?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's going to be something quick. Let me see what I can find on my calendar here.
Okay.
And ideally, I'd like to do it sometime before the 8th, because if he wants a trial, I'd like to be able to accommodate him. He's been sitting in custody for a while.
Yeah.
All right.
He's been in custody since August.
I've got a criminal hearing docket on Friday the 5th at 1:30.
I can be there.
Does that work for you, Mr. Gorgon?
Yes.
Mr. Rob?
Works for the state, Your Honor. No objection. And this is for a Nelson hearing?
Status hearing, I think. If he hasn't filed the paperwork. Status
hearing, so I don't actually have a request yet, but it sounds like it might be coming. So let's set a status hearing. We'll have him brought over, and I can hear him out, and we'll see. We'll see where things will go. But if he wants a trial, at least we'll get this. Whatever issues need to be addressed, we can get them addressed before the 8th, so he has an opportunity to have a trial since he's been sitting in custody.
And it's an offer that he can get out anytime he wants, but whatever.
We can have a full discussion on the record with him present and see what he wants to do.
Now, do I appear by Zoom, Your Honor, or is this in person for me?
No, I think that'll be an in-person docket.
Let me make sure.
So come on in on Friday the 5th at 1:30. We'll set it for a status for now. We'll see if he files a request to seek different appointed counsel, and then we'll go from there.
As far as the posture of the case, the cases itself, one is a resisting and one is a DUI. I've got the videos, everything's ready to go. We are ready for trial. That's
assuming you get the green light from your client. I understand. So let's set it for status. Let him address whatever issues he wants to address. If he wants this trial, I don't want to miss this opportunity for him because I don't know the next time I'm going to have access to a panel of jurors. All right.
And for the record, Your Honor, state's ready based on the outcome of that hearing. So.
Make sure you have your witnesses under subpoena for that week.
Will be.
Because for the rest of defense attorneys that are listening, as far as the priority schedule for trials that week of the 8th, obviously folks who are in custody seeking a trial where this matter will resolve whatever's holding them in custody, they will take the top priority. So as of right now, if this gentleman wants a trial, he's been in custody since August. If this is what's holding him, this case would be the #1 priority case. All right. February 5th, Ruby at 1:30 for status. But Mr. Rabb, have your witnesses ready for a trial the following week, okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, very good. And that's both cases. He has 2 cases. It's 18 CT 2900 and 18 MM 2801.
And just for the record, Your Honor, I want to make sure I've mentioned this in the record. I haven't seen a motion to consolidate both cases. They do arise from the same events and transactions. I do not know if the state wishes to proceed separately.
That's state's call.
Correct.
Likely will be filing a motion as it gets closer to February 8th date.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Mr. Honecker, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. I've got Roberto Reyes Palomino, 20 CT 1864.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm requesting a continuance to the next pretrial with a waiver.
State?
No objection, Your Honor. It looks like discovery was just sent yesterday, or additional discovery was just sent yesterday.
All right.
That's correct.
March 3rd at 9:30.
Thank you very much. Well, have a good day.
Please do. Take care. All
Your
right.
Honor, just to clarify, I think the docket starts at 9.
What time did I say?
9:30.
I'm at 9.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. All right. Ms. Gonzalez. Diane Gonzalez.
Good morning, Your Honor. Oh, Diane Gonzalez. My apologies.
Sorry. Mr. Gonzalez, you'll be next.
All right.
Miss Gonzalez. You there, ma'am? No, she stepped away from her phone. Mr. Gonzalez, you are up.
Hey there. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Morning, sir.
Javier Gonzalez here on behalf of Georgita Chingarev. I spoke to ASA Karimi last week, and I think she knows. I'm going to sandbag her here. I'm ready for trial. No, I'm kidding, Your Honor. I've discussed it with her, and I'm going to request a defense continuance. There's been testimony from some of the overlapping witnesses in 2 different hearings now, so I need to get my hands on those transcripts just to see what was testified to and see what we can do with that.
All right. This was 20 MM 858. Stating any objection to the continuance?
Since counsel's ready for trial, Your Honor, I have to. No objection, Your Honor.
All right. All right. March 3rd at 9, not 9:30, but 9.
Now, is that on for
Pretrial.
Pretrial? Thank
Another
you, Your
pretrial.
Honor.
Yep. All right. Thanks, sir. All right. Diane Gonzalez, Miss Gonzalez, good morning. Everything okay?
The case that you were talking
here,
about,
yes.
One moment, ma'am.
Any, wanted to be removed. Was that a female?
No.
What?
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Adam Hara. You should have a plea in absentia filed on that.
This is 19 CT 2218. I have a plea in absentia filed. State, have you had an opportunity to review this plea in absentia?
I have a note from Mr. Rosinko that he has, Your Honor, and that he has signed off on the plea in absentia.
All right. All right, the charge is DUI. And Ruby, here are the terms that I have on the PIA. Looks like adjudication of guilt, $1,000 fine, 12 months probation, no early termination until 6 months have been served. 12-month license suspension, 50 hours community service, DUI, school substance abuse evaluation, file recommendation, victim impact panel, alcohol, no alcohol provisions, 10-day impound cost of prosecution. State, you agree that those were the correct terms?
Yes, Your Honor. Is random testing also included in that, along
Yes.
with the substance abuse evaluation? Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
I was just doing it the fast way. All right. Give me one moment.
Hello.
There it is. All right, I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find that there is a sufficient factual basis and venue. I have considered the plea in absentia and find that there is a correct recitation of the terms of the plea along with a complete recitation of the rights being waived by the defendant. All of this was acknowledged by the defendant by his signature before a notary. There is an attached set of prints. They're not terribly legible. Ms. Gonzalez, are you able to supplement the file with the original copy?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, it's just, I can show you what I'm looking at. It's not, this is what I've got. And so.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I see that. An original copy or?
If you could send in an original copy to the clerk's office, I think they could scan it and get a better copy. But otherwise, Steve, do you have any objection to the plea in absentia and with counsel just supplementing the file?
No objections to the plea, Your Honor, and that would be the state's request as well.
All right, then I will accept the plea as freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered and impose sentence in just a moment. Ruby, whenever you're ready, if you could do a share screen so I can review the JNS, please.
Absolutely, Judge. Give me one moment.
Go ahead.
Did you address a Elizabeth Moreno Chala case with a Nicholas Torres Triana attorney?
No, not yet.
Okay, don't.
Your Honor, I had a question. He has 24 hours to report to probation. Is that it? Does anybody know if he needs to report in person or are they doing it by mail?
Mr. Rabb, you can answer that.
I have no objection to mail-in probation for probation, but I think for reporting purposes, is he local, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
I believe he should go and appear in person.
I think so. I think for the first sign up, I think they still are doing it in person. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to impose sentence as follows at this time. For the charge of DUI, first offense, adjudication of guilt, $388 in court costs, $1,000 fine, $50 cost of prosecution, 12-month license suspension, 12 months probation. Special conditions of probation are as follows: 50 hours community service, DUI school appropriate phase, substance abuse evaluation, following a recommended treatment, random breathalyzer, urine analysis, subject to random testing.
Your Honor, may he have until 5 o'clock tomorrow? I think he's probably working.
That's fine. We can put that on the JNS.
Thank you.
Victim impact panel may not possess or consume any alcoholic beverages, no entering bars, taverns, saloons, pubs, lounges, or package stores, no alcoholic beverages in the residence. 10-day vehicle immobilization. May petition the court for early termination upon serving 6 months and completing all conditions. And Ruby, if you wouldn't mind just adding that one last part, that
Probation, 5 o'clock tomorrow?
may report to probation no later than 5 p.m. on February 28th.
I can do that, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. But otherwise, did I state all the terms correctly, Mr. Rabb?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. And Ms. Gonzalez, was that your only case?
Yes.
All right. Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you. You too.
All right. I have somebody who has come to the courtroom. Is this
This is Ms.
Lisbeth?
Moreno Chala, case number 20MM1921.
De la señorita
Fine attorney.
Lisbeth Moreno, cuyo número de caso es 20MM1921, sin abogado.
All right. Do I have attorney Nicholas?
Sin abogado.
Yes, Judge. Good afternoon. Good morning, Nicholas Torres.
This is Mr. Torres Triana.
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. How about you?
All right. Your client is present in the courtroom with an interpreter.
Su cliente está presente en la sala con un intérprete sin abogado.
Looks like there's a motion to withdraw that you have filed. Is that right?
Yes, Judge.
All right.
I'm sorry, I could barely hear the interpreter, so I'm trying to give him time, but I'm not sure if I'm cutting him.
No, you're fine. All right. So, ma'am, your attorney, ma'am, good morning. Good morning. Your attorney is on Zoom with me, okay?
Okay.
All right, and he is telling me that he is requesting that he be allowed to withdraw from your case. Do you have an objection to your attorney no longer representing you at this time?
No, the thing is that I'm not working now and I don't have means to pay them.
All right. I had an opportunity to review the motion to withdraw. Counsel, do you want to be heard any further on this?
No, Judge. Everything's stated on the motion and what she just testified to is the case.
All right. Then the motion to withdraw is granted at this time. I will need an order, please, sir.
We'll forward one over. Thank you, Judge.
All right. So, ma'am, as of right now, you don't have a lawyer. Do you still want a lawyer to represent you? All right. Now, you said you weren't working. So here's the thing. On a criminal case, you still have the right to have a lawyer, even if you cannot afford one. You can have what's called a public defender, but you have to apply for the public defender. The good news is you can do it right here in this building today. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do that, please. Go across the atrium to the customer service window and ask for an application for the public defender. And if you qualify, one will be appointed. Now that's if you want a lawyer and you cannot afford one. Of course, you have the right to hire a private lawyer if you wish and can pay for one. Okay? All right. Do you want?
Para contratar un abogado privado, ¿tiene que ser el mismo o me dan otro día? ¿Cómo sería? In order to hire a private attorney, does it have to be today or
No.
can I have more time for that?
No, I can give you time. But this case will continue.
Sí, por favor, es muy amable. Yes, please.
All right, but this case will continue to move forward. Hold on, this case will continue to move forward.
Este caso continuará.
So if you want to have a lawyer represent you and you feel that you cannot afford one, you can ask for the public defender. If you just want, I'm sorry.
May I apply for a public defender now?
Yes, yes, you can.
I'm nervous.
It's okay. That's.
It's the first time I'm doing this.
I understand. But that's why I want to make sure that if you tell me you want a lawyer to represent you, We're going to make sure that you have a lawyer to represent you, okay?
Honestamente, yo lo que quiero es que sepa que usted tiene un abogado que lo puede representar.
Sí, thank you.
All right. All right. So in the meantime, state what I'm going to do.
Your Honor, we would request at this time that this just be I guess a court continuance with the lack of counsel at this point to the next pretrial conference on March 3rd.
I'm going to put it on March 4th, which is the PD.
On March 4th.
All right. I'll put it up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next court date, ma'am, is March 4th
Marzo 4,
at 9 o'clock.
a las 9 es el regreso.
We'll send you a notice
March the 4th, right?
March 4th at 9 o'clock.
A las 9.
Let me confirm that we have your correct address.
Tenemos la dirección correcta aquí para confirmarlo.
Is it 3641 22nd Avenue Northeast? Okay. All right, we're going to mail you your notice for your next court date. But go ahead, if you want a public defender appointed to assist you today, go apply today. That way they can start working on your case before your next court date, okay?
Si quiere un abogado de oficio a partir de hoy, por favor, entonces quiero permiso para empezar a trabajar en su caso, para que él empiece a trabajar en su caso.
Sí, lo voy a solicitar. Sí.
Yeah, I'm going to request one. Yes.
All right. All right, we'll see you on March 4th, ma'am.
Nos vemos marzo 4, entonces.
Take care, stay safe, okay?
Thank you.
Cuídese
Thank
y
Your Honor, I have another defendant outside, Garrett Johnson. He was advised by his attorney that he needs to be here in person at a Zoom hearing.
All right, give me one moment.
And Judge, just to
Right.
clarify,
Hold on a moment. I'm hearing from too many people. Yes, ma'am, go ahead. Ms. Ruby, go ahead, please.
sorry, Judge, I just wanted to clarify, I did enter that condition, the defendant to show up no later than 5 p.m. by January 28th.
JNS?
For the JNS, did you still want to see that, or was it okay to just process?
No, if everything else is the same,
Yeah.
you're good. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right. All right, ma'am, you're free to go.
eso es lo demás.
Go take care of what you need to. I'll see you March 4th, okay?
Haga lo que tiene que hacer y en marzo 4.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, and who is the other person who's standing outside?
Garrett Johnson was told by his attorney that he needs to be here in person.
All right.
I think we already heard from Mr. Kamadeko, Your Honor, on this case.
Un momento, señorita.
He was represented by Mr. Kamadeko?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Told by his attorney that he needs to show up here. That's all I got from him.
All right. You can bring him in here so I can tell him that his attorney showed up on Zoom and continued his case.
Want me to let advise
Actually, we put it on February 1st, didn't we?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
No,
We'll get a copy from the clerk's.
if he wants to hear it from me, that's fine. Otherwise, you can tell him.
Thank you, sir. Come on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Gracias.
That was it.
For me?
Yep, you're good, sir. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right.
Your Honor, I be heard out of turn.
Who is talking?
Christina DiCaro.
And yes, ma'am. Why do I need to do that?
I have court at 9:30 in another courtroom or another Zoom room.
All right. Doing my best here. All right. Sure. I've got Michelle Marie Hitt, 19 CT 2424.
Mrs. Hitt, if the court would indulge another continuance, I did speak with her. Her situation is that she's trying to renew her license in another state that's holding up from getting a Florida license. And that application is still pending, she tells me. The offer would change if she was to get a reinstated license. So if the court can indulge another continuance, that's what we'd be requesting.
State any objection?
Your Honor, the state has no objection to a final continuance.
All right. March 3rd at 9 o'clock. All right. Next. Mr. Gardner.
I have Gifford Cade, 20 CT 1879.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, asking for a continuance with the waiver. This is likely going to be a plea agreement and a plea in absentia. He was in the National Guard deployed. Last I spoke with him, he should have been back in December.
All right.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. March 3rd, 9 o'clock. Next.
Jahan Hajani, 20 CT 1143.
Okay.
Your Honor, asking for a continuance with the waiver. This is also likely going to be a plea in absentia.
State.
No objection, Your Honor.
March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Kelsey Kruzlensky, 19 CT 2454. Your Honor, I'm going to ask that we set this on your status date. I believe that was February 8th. She has indicated to me that she would like a trial, although I don't think that's necessarily in her best interest. So if we can set this for a status.
All right.
And if not, it would be a plea in abstention.
All right.
And we'd have it done by then.
No problem. State, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. State's ready.
All right. So once again, just to reiterate, especially since a couple of counsel joined us after I originally said this, calendar call / status is going to be Monday the 8th at 9 o'clock. No witnesses or jurors will be present. Defendants' appearances are not mandatory, but obviously they're always welcome. If we do go to trial, trials will begin Tuesday the 9th at 9 o'clock. If all goes well, I'm hoping to get 2 trials in that week, and we'll just see where things kind of stack up. If there are any pretrial motions, they must be filed no later than 5 p.m. Friday the 5th. Any motions filed after that date and time will not be heard. I have very limited time with a panel of jurors, and I intend to use every minute of their time. All right.
And then, Your Honor, I have one more. It should be under Attorney Monica Fish. That's Banhauer Christopher, 20 FM 1813. And she's asking for continuance of the waiver. She's reviewing the offer with the defendant.
Sorry, can I get the name one more time, please?
Spanhauer, Spainhour.
Got it. All right. And I'm sorry, you said you were asking for a continuance?
Yes, with a waiver.
State?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Mr. Lucarelli, you there?
I'm here, Judge. I've just got the one case on your docket there. That's Burhan Ruli, 20 MM 1592. Yesterday, Judge Adams, covering for you, granted the deposition for me of one of the witnesses, and we're in the process of scheduling that. That's a juvenile witness. I'd ask for continuance to wait for your trial.
Monday, March 3rd, 9 o'clock. Sorry, Wednesday, March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right. Mr. Calvo, you there? He was. Oh, there he is. Good morning, sir. Can you hear me? I can't hear you, sir. I'm having audio issues. All right. I'm going to let you work on that for just a moment. I promise I'll circle back to you, sir. Russo, good morning.
Good morning. I have Jose Luis Vargas Valdez, case number 20 CT 2057.
Yes, sir.
There's a plea in absentia in the court file.
Oh, shit.
All right. State, did you have an opportunity to review it?
Mr. Osingo has, Your Honor. He has approved it.
All right. I've got an adjudication of guilt, $200 fine plus court costs. Is that correct?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I've reviewed the citation as well as the driving record. And I do find that there's a sufficient factual basis in venue. I'm reviewing the plea in absentia. It appears that there is a complete recitation of the terms of the plea, along with a correct recitation of the rights being waived by the defendant. All of this is acknowledged by the defendant by a signature before a notary. There's an attached set of legible prints. It is also signed by counsel. Therefore, I will accept the plea as freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered, and impose sentence as soon as I can review the JNS, please.
Would the court allow some time to pay?
Yes, sir. I can do 90 days to pay.
Thank you.
All right. For the offense of driving while license suspended, second or subsequent offense, adjudication of guilt, $220 in court costs, $200 fine, $50 cost of prosecution, 90 days to pay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Take care. Mrs. Roger? Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are
Your
you?
Honor, I had Mackenzie Hayes on the docket. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I had Mackenzie Hayes on the docket. I did receive a notice of null pros from the state attorney's office this morning on that case.
All right. So, Ruby, if we don't have that in the file just yet, let's just put it on March 3rd and it'll come off as soon as that gets through the queue. Does that work?
Not a problem. Just let me just make sure there's anything there. No.
And then, all right.
March 3rd.
Yes, ma'am. 20 CT 1199. I'm sure the notice of null pros will get through the queue sometime today.
Okay.
All right. And then I've got.
And then, Your Honor, the last case I have is Blake Holmes. Yes. Your Honor, on that case, I'm requesting a continuance with a waiver. I did reach out to Mr. Racinko, and he needed some additional time to review the video on that case.
This is 20 CT 2142. State no objection to a continuance.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Calvo's desperately trying to get back with us. Let's see. Mr. Calvo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Judge. How about, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, I can.
Oh, good. Yeah, I had to go all the way through and reset the computer, all that fun techie stuff.
I'm not going to even start on that path of complaining about our technological issues. I'm just going to.
I know.
I'm just going to keep going forward.
That's it. Just keep on trucking.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's see. I've got 2 cases with you today.
Yes, I'm also covering for Chris Brown.
Yes, sir. So let's start with yours, please. I've got Eric Cantu Nieto, 20 CT 1501.
Yes, Judge. That's going to be a plea in absentia. I've got the terms from the state. He was in immigration custody. He's been released. And so we're going to do the plea in absentia unless you want us in your courtroom. It's up to you.
My preference is a plea in absentia if that works for the parties. I can accommodate in-person pleas. It's just pleas in absentia are much easier to schedule.
Perfect. I agree. I'll do a plea in absentia.
Very good. All right. So in the meantime, shall we just continue this to the next pretrial? We can do a plea in absentia at the pretrial.
Yes.
All right. State, you agree?
Yes, Your Honor. No objection.
All right. March 3rd at 9 o'clock. I've got Angela Alcala Estala, 20 CT 1840.
Based on new information, I am going to send her into mental health court. I've got the application process going already. So if we can just set it to the next pretrial conference of March 3rd, I can report to the court where we are with that application process.
Very good. State no objection?
No objection. I would just ask, does Mr. Racinko, have you had the conversation with Mr. Racinko yet?
No.
Okay.
Is she the mental health court person down there?
No, he's generally on this docket. I just wanted to make him aware of it if you hadn't had the conversation.
All right.
I have none.
All right. I'll give the parties a chance to talk. Well, March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
And sorry, go ahead.
That's it. And you're coming from Mr. Brown. You've got Jordan Nathaniel Rodriguez, 20 MM 772.
Yes, he's requesting to continue it because they're going to file a motion to withdraw. They've lost contact with their client.
All right. Let's set it in the next pretrial. Give him a chance to file his motion. State, you agree?
Yes, Your Honor. No objection.
March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right. Mr. Oros? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Very well. Let's see. I've got Bernard Gordon Elliton, 20 CT 47.
Yes, Your Honor. That would be a request to put it on the status, the February 8th date, please.
All right. Are you anticipating going to trial, or is it for the resolution?
I am, Your Honor. I've had discussions with the state about it too, just to inform them about Mr. Elliton's mindset. But yeah, I do fully expect it to be a trial, Your Honor.
Very good. State, you ready?
We are, Your Honor.
All right. As stated earlier, calendar call is strictly for status. Monday the 8th, 9 o'clock, with an anticipated trial date of Tuesday the 9th. Motion cutoff is Friday the 5th at 5 p.m.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Mr. Harris. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge. Good to see you again. How are you?
Good to see you, sir. How's everything going?
You know, it's 2021. It's a much better year than last year, but
Yeah, but that's setting the bar kind of low.
it certainly is.
All right.
Judge, I got Ricardo Burgess.
Yes, sir. 19M281.
Yeah, it's very old. He's in custody, been in custody the whole time. He has felonies pending that are much more serious, and there's mental health issues that we are still going through. I hope this case can just tag along with those, and I'd ask for another continuance.
All right. I mean, I think did this case occur at the same time as the felonies that are pending?
It did. The battery that you have occurred, and then immediately after he committed a burglary with a battery on the road, leaving the place where the battery happened. There's competency hearings still ongoing. So I'd ask the court to find that at this point he's not yet competent to proceed. Well, take that back. There's been no ruling that he's competent, and competency has been raised.
All right. What I generally speaking, I have no problem with adopting the findings of the circuit court if findings are made. So I'll just, let's do it properly. You can file a motion. We can have a brief hearing on the matter, and if findings were made by the circuit court and the state is not otherwise objecting, I can also make findings adopting the findings of the circuit court. Does that work for you, sir?
Yes.
All right. State, do you agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and continue this again and see where things go. March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
And just so counsel knows, it looks like there was an amended witness list sent as well yesterday. So just be on the lookout for it if you haven't received already.
Will do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
All right. You too. Good to see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Hobson? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge. Peter Hobson, Dan Whalen, 19 CT 2813. May I request to be placed on the pretrial docket on March 3rd with the hope that a plea in absentia will be filed once completed?
State?
No objection. Hopefully there will be a plea.
All right. March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care.
Be well.
Mr. Hines, are you there? Yes, you are. Good morning, sir.
Hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yes, Judge. I have Daryl Edwards, 19 MM, I think 950 it is.
Yes, sir.
Judge, we'll go ahead and ask for that 2-8 status conference with regard to a possible trial that week.
Okay.
Judge, just one point for, or one question. Your trial starting the next day, are you anticipating, do you have four full days that week?
I have 4 full days that week. So my goal is to get 2 trials in.
Okay. Well, Mr. Edwards is not in custody, but it's been pending a long time, so.
Generally speaking, like I said, folks who are in custody get the top priority for obvious reasons. After that, my preference is to try the older cases.
Yes,
but there's always other, equities to consider when determining priority, and I'll listen carefully to what counsel has to say about why, their case might need to go first. But my preference, obviously, is to try the older cases first, all other things being equal.
Okay. We'll see you
Right.
then on the 8th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. And to reiterate, I do a motion cutoff February 5th at 5 p.m.
Yes, Judge. I made a note of that.
Very good. All right, thank you, sir. Hey, oh, I'm sorry, State, are you ready?
State is ready, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's an important question I was supposed to ask before I set it for trial. All right. So February 8th at 9 o'clock. I figured you'd jump in there if things weren't gonna.
You know.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Hines.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Mr. Grigosa, are you there? I've just been looking at your ceiling. There you go. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you, Judge.
Good morning.
Judge, I have one case, Diane Sullivan, 20 CT 836.
Yes, sir.
This is the one where she has to get there's a driver's license suspended and she has to resolve it on an issue in Illinois. And the Illinois DMV has been closed. They've reopened. And I was told that they're taking 2 to 4 months to give administrative hearings for a backlog. So I'm asking for continuance.
All right. State no objection?
No objection. Can we, Mr. Grigosa, would you object to 2 months if there's a timing issue at this point? Is she currently
well, I mean, we're doing the best we can. I mean, if she clears it up, she gets her license back. That's the thing.
And we would no process it if you provided us proof of that in the interim. I just don't want to just roll it for another month. And then if she's currently scheduled and it's taking 2 to 4 months to be in the same position next month, I'd rather just give her time to resolve it.
The problem is I don't know when they're going to give her a hearing. So
I'd rather just sort of put tabs on it. Let's just put it in March, and then if we're still waiting, we're still waiting.
Right. Yes, okay.
Fine. All right. March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Take care. All right. Mrs. Orange? Good morning. Hello? Oh, not answering. I'll come back.
Sorry, Judge. I'm in the middle of a Zoom mediation. I got 2 iPads up and I heard my name, so I paused the mediator.
No problem. No problem. Yes, ma'am.
I have one case on the docket. It's Kamani Emmanuel Williams, 20 MM 1766.
Okay. Ma'am, what would you like to do?
This is the first time up, Your Honor. I just got an offer about 6 p.m. last night. I haven't had a chance to speak to my client about it. If we could continue this with the waiver.
No objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Wednesday, March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Take care. All right. All right. Mr. Hopkins, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. I have 4 cases, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your patience this morning. I appreciate it. I just, I try to call the folks with, one quick case first, but I appreciate your patience.
No problem, Your Honor. And I know that Mr. Gorman may ask you, did I hear you correctly? Did you use the word status?
I like that sound of that, Judge. Status.
Times have forced my hand. When the world returns to normal, I'm going to take that word and throw it in the dump where it belongs. But in the meantime, I think it's appropriate to call it for what it is, because we are checking on the status of our jury trials.
Your Honor,
it pains me so much to do it.
Your Honor, on all of my cases, I can give you explanations for each of them, but I will tell you that on each of them, I'm requesting a continuance to the March 3rd pretrial conference with a waiver on each. Okay. So I can go through each one. I just want to tell you, for everybody else's time and the court's time, that's going to be my request on each one of them.
Well, let me do this. State, are you objecting to a continuance on any of the cases?
No, Your Honor. State's not.
All right. I mean, even though, like I said, I've got, I've got enough trials that are coming up that I don't want to force anybody's hand with going to trial. So, Mr. Hopkins, I will. At this point, I'm happy to take your word for it that you have sufficient grounds for a continuance, if that's okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
They also all seem to be recent, Your Honor. So.
Yes, I was also looking at the dates. All right.
Your Honor, first case would be John Allen, 20 MM 1993. That would be the defense request, continuance with a waiver to the next pretrial. Okay. The next case would be Lazaro Hernandez on the docket, 20mm1481, same request with a waiver.
Okay.
Austin Kellam, KELLAM, 20mm1454, same request. And Mr. Rabb, Mr. Racinko did send me an email almost at 10 o'clock last night about a defense or a request for a state deposition. I responded that I have no objection if he submits a proposed order to Judge Brown.
Okay.
Well, thank you, sir.
Final case is Camilla Pacas, PACAS, 20mm1908. Your Honor, same request with a waiver.
So Ruby, on all those cases, March 3rd at 9 o'clock, you got that? And that's with a waiver on all cases, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Mr. Gorman, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. Thomas Gorman from the Law Office of Donald Day. Judge, I didn't hear too many people get put on that February 8th status. If we could utilize that to potentially resolve some court dates, that would be our request, Judge.
Sure. Now, bear in mind, Lisa, that day is strictly a virtual hearing. So if you want to do pleas and abstention that day, that's fine. But I cannot do in person.
That's fine, Judge. First case we've got is Ryan Davidson, 20 CT 1326. That's going to be an abstention. We've already filed the paperwork, but he's still finishing up DUI school, so we should be able to execute it on February 8th. So our request is to set it for plea on that day. Plea status, Judge.
All right. State, would you be ready for trial? How does it work out? I mean, it is a calendar call. No, I said I'm happy to take pleas, and obviously I'll consider any motions to continue based upon good cause. But you know, I just want to make sure if I'm going to set it there that it's a case that can be tried by the state if it otherwise doesn't work out.
Judge, I'm telling the state right now it's not going to be a trial that cycle, so they don't have to prepare. If Your Honor is willing to have it as a status, Judge, although
we've got them on record, state.
All right.
And just for the record, in case they change their mind, the state does have a witness conflict that week, but nevertheless.
I don't think Mr. Gorman's going to lie to you. All right. We'll put it on February 8th at 9 o'clock for status. Oh, I still say that word. All right.
Yes, Judge.
Next case. I'm sorry. So that was Mr. Davidson. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge. Ryan Davidson, 20 CT 1326.
Very good. All right. Next one, please.
Next, Judge, page 19 of the docket, Mary Lorenz, 20 CT 1671. We're asking to continue the next pretrial conference with a waiver.
No objection, state.
No objection, Your Honor.
March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Next, Judge, page 24 of the docket, Robin Okoliski, 20 MM 432. We're asking to continue that to next pretrial conference with the waiver.
All right. No objection?
Yep.
March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Next, Judge, on page 26 of the docket, Alex Prohl, 20 CT 1452. We spoke to Mr. Racinko about a counteroffer. We're hopeful that if he considers our position that we may have a resolution. If we could also set that for the February 8th status date, status only, not a trial. Either we'll resolve it or we'll set it to another pretrial from there.
All right, state.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, February 8th, 9 o'clock.
Next, Judge, we have on page 32 of the docket, Inga Tenatova, 20 CT 952. Same request. If we could have that February 8th status date for a plea. That's our request, Judge. Not a trial.
All right. State.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. February 8th, 9 o'clock.
Next, Judge, we have on page 37 of the docket, Connor Zich, 20 CT 1182. We could have that February 8th status for plea. Not a trial.
No objection.
February 8th is what you asked for, yes?
Yes, Judge, February 8th.
February 8th, 9 o'clock.
And then, Judge, last one, we have Catherine Jellerson. This is a different situation. Case numbers 19 CT 2864, 19 MM 2355. We are ready for trial on Ms. Jellerson's cases. So we would, if we could set that for the status date, but the understanding that we are ready for trial, so the state can prepare on this one.
All right.
State is ready, Your Honor.
All right, both cases, February 8th, 9 o'clock. Pretrial cutoff is February 5th at 5 p.m. Pretrial motion cutoff. is February 5th at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Is there going to be a motion to consolidate, or does the state have a preference as to which one they're going to go on first?
I believe you've already signed the order to consolidate, Your Honor.
I did?
Yes, Your Honor. It looks like back in December when this was on your calendar for, I guess, January 1st.
Okay, very good. Oh, there it is. All right.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
Take care.
Have a good day.
You too. All right. Mr. Fayette, good morning.
Morning, Judge.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. I have 3 cases on your docket, Judge.
Okay.
Jason Martin, should be a plea in absentia filed.
All right. This is 19 CT 2215. And there is a plea in absentia. State, I'm looking at adjudication of guilt, 250 fine, 6 months probation, shall term upon completion of conditions, 80 community service hours with no buyout. Court cost of prosecution. Do you agree that those are the terms?
I do agree that that is what the note says. For whatever reason, and maybe Mr. Fay can lend clarity on this, Mr. Rosingo put a note in here that says deportation is in there, but enhanceable offense is taken out.
Oh.
I think there was a point where we I didn't have the deportation stuff in my plea in absentia somehow. I've remedied that. I think it complies now.
Right. I guess the state's concern is that there's nothing in here about enhanceability.
I can tell the court that I've discussed that with him, but if you're uncomfortable with that, I can redo it and see how I missed that.
Right, Mr. Rabb, do you want that in there?
It is the office's policy to have it in writing, Mr. Fay, and I apologize.
All right. Sorry, Mr. Payne.
Yeah, no problem.
No, I apologize for the inconvenience.
Yes, no, it's my fault.
Before the pandemic, that was one of our projects on the criminal agencies meeting, was coming up with a proposed form plea in absentia to be available to defense counsel. But we haven't had an agencies meeting in quite some time. But we're starting them up again in February. So maybe we'll get one sometime in 2021.
Speaking of February, is the plan to then put this on the February 1st docket potentially for a plea?
I won't get it done by then.
Oh, okay.
I won't be able to get it because I got to get him to re-sign it and get it. I can try. I may be able to pull it off by the 8th on that 8th date you have, or if you want to put me on that March 2nd, and I'll file it.
I'd rather put this on the 3rd and just give you time to get it done.
Okay.
All right. March 3rd at 9 o'clock. All right. I've got 2 more cases of yours, sir.
Yes, Judge. Whichever one you want to do.
I've got Matthew Kokaikun, 20 CT.
Yeah, I lured you in to try and pronounce that. That's what I was doing.
I knew that, but
that's a clean absentia, Judge. I should have had that back already. He lives in Canada and had some health problems. I don't know that it's COVID related or not, but apparently it's executed and on the way to me. But I would hopefully have it back by the 8th. But if you want to be safe and put me on for the 3rd for that one too.
If you think you'll have it by then, I'd rather have it on the 8th. And if you don't,
I've asked the last 2 days for a tracking number, and they have failed to give me one, so I could reliably tell the court where it's at.
Okay, let's put it on the 3rd, March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
And the last one, Judge Todor Petrov, we're ready on that.
Is he back in the country?
He is not.
All right. You're willing to try the case without your client present?
He wants me to contest the case as best I can.
Okay.
He's hoping to come back someday.
All right.
I asked him if he watched the news lately, if he really wants to come back, but he said he does.
State, are you ready?
You bear with me 1 second, Your Honor. Apologies.
Judge, every time I see Bob Hines, did you know he was the very first public defender in town? Ever in Collier?
Really? I did not know that.
It always makes me think of how long I'm going to be doing this for.
State has no objection to the case or Mr. Fay continuing to practice.
All right.
Continue, sir. Continue.
I only have 19 years till retirement.
Jesus. I was in Colorado when that Powerball thing was going, and man, did I buy a lot of tickets, but it just weighed my suitcase down. Nothing happened with it.
This is the best job that a lawyer could ever hope for. But if I had $1 billion, I think I could find ways to entertain myself.
Maybe.
All right. So say you're ready, yes?
State's ready, Your Honor.
All right. Let's go ahead and put Mr. Petrov on February 8th. Mr. Fay, there's one catch. There is a rule of procedure that allows misdemeanor cases to be tried in absentia. But I'm going to require that your client waive his presence in writing.
That's fair.
Obviously, he absolutely has a right to be present before a jury. And if we're going to do that, it's not that I wouldn't take your word for it, but that's one of those things that I would absolutely require that he put in writing, that he's willing to have this case move forward without his presence.
Unless you can get him here, Judge.
I don't think I can.
Okay. I appreciate all your time. Try and have a good day, guys.
Yes, sir. You too. Take care. Mr. Ramo, thank you for your patience, sir.
Good morning. I actually logged in late. I was in front of Judge Foster.
No problem.
So I kind of heard there's a status date, which is a / calendar call.
It's a calendar call.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not requiring defendant's presence for it. Strictly virtual, no witnesses, no jurors. But I am primary the week of the 8th. So if the numbers are holding, right now we heard from the chief judge yesterday. We're good with our numbers right now to have jurors starting to come back in the building next week. And if those numbers hold, I will have a panel that week.
Okay.
So we try cases.
So my client needs to appear on the status date.
No, I'm not requiring the defendant's.
Okay, understood.
It's a calendar call, but it's also really a status because the numbers have to fall in line, and then of course there's a number of cases that are going to be set, and I'm hoping for 2 trials that week.
Okay. All right. The first case I have is Arlington Aguilar Hernandez, page 1, 20 CT 2398. I'm going to request a continuance of the waiver.
All right. State.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. That's March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Good morning, by the way, Mr. Rob.
Good morning.
Dean Ashton Arnold, 20 CT 644. I'm going to request a continuance to the March date with a waiver.
State.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Michael Butson. I'm going to put that on the 8th for a potential plea. He was in a residential program, so I need to get the paperwork to him, get this resolved.
Hey, you ready?
It's a plea, Judge. You
can do what Mr. Gorman did and assure the state on the record that you are not going forward to trial. And if that's the case, I'm happy to put it on the 8th.
Let's do it on the 8th, Judge. That's my assurance.
Very good.
All right.
So you accept Mr. Rudera's assurance?
Yes.
Very good.
There's some hesitation.
All right. February 8th, 9 o'clock.
Next one is Woody DeJeus, 19 CT 2678. Excuse me, 2675. We can put that on the 8th for trial.
Your Honor, state has a conflict with one of our witnesses from February 8th to February 15th.
All right.
State is
That's an essential witness.
Apologies, Your Honor.
It's an essential witness.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right.
Corporal Kennedy.
He's the arresting officer.
I believe if he was not, he conducted the DUI investigation.
We don't need him.
He is listed.
Mr. Rudera is perfectly fine with you proceeding to trial without him. All right. All right. The state's request for continuance is granted March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Sorry, I'm taking notes here.
No problem.
Next case is Dustin Dobianski, 20 CT 279. We can set this for trial.
All right. State, you ready?
Mr. Verderamo, I hate to do this to you. So it looks like it looks like our witness will potentially be back on the 8th. However, it looks like he is out from January 4th to the 8th.
Just put it on the 3rd.
I'll throw on the 9th.
It doesn't say anything about his availability on the 9th, so I imagine he will be back on the 9th.
Let's
put it on the 3rd. That's fine. Yes, that's fine.
I mean, it would be my preference to go ahead and set it and see what happens, because if he's back on the 8th, then we can have a trial later that week. Right?
Okay, let's do that then. Works.
And like I said, listen, if appropriate grounds for a continuance are raised, then so be it. But let's try to keep things moving forward. All right. So February 8th, 9 o'clock.
Next defendant has 2 cases. Reynaldo Fashari, 20 CT 1684, 20 CT 1912, requesting attendance on both cases.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, March 3rd, 9 o'clock, both cases.
Trent Gilliard, 20 CT 449. We can set that for the 8th.
All right. For trial or status?
Let's set it for status.
All right. Is that okay with you?
For status, yes, Your Honor.
All right. February 8th, 9 o'clock.
Next case is Mariana Lachetti, 20 CT 428, page 19, asking for the March 3rd with a waiver.
State.
No objection, Your Honor.
March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Cristobal Martinez, 20 CT 1337, March 3rd with a waiver.
State.
No objection.
All right. March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Gage Oberman, I believe this is our first pretrial, requesting a 3-3 with a waiver.
State.
No objection, Your Honor.
March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Edwin Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez lives in New York. I don't know. In abundance of caution, I'm going to move it to the 3rd. I know it's an older case, and I know I want to set it, but getting him down here is going to be a hurdle. So I don't know realistically if I can get him down here in a week and get through the protocols with COVID.
And all right, just so you're aware, I don't know when my next shot at a jury is going to be. It may not be until possibly in the summer.
It looks like you're scheduled as backup, Your Honor, for March 22nd.
Yeah.
But as backup.
As backup, right. My next shot at being primary, we don't have the schedule that far out yet.
I'm going to put it, I just don't think it's realistic getting him down here with everything that's going on here and traveling.
I understand.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
My last case is Brittany Woodring, 19 CT 2825. She's, I believe, in Georgia or North Carolina, but I know that she's eager to get it resolved. So let's set this for the 8th.
All right.
For trial.
For trial. State, you ready?
State's ready, Your Honor.
I mean, Georgia, North Carolina, that's only 10, 12-hour drive.
She can drive it. That's different.
Yeah, New York is
a little further
of a drive. I've made that drive. That's 23, 24 hours straight.
Right.
All right.
Especially when your license is suspended as a result of
that does take a little bit longer then.
Yes.
I don't know how long it takes to walk, but it. All right. All right. So 19 CT 2825. State, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. February 8th, 9 o'clock. And Mr. Verderamo, I know you probably say this, but on all cases set for trial, there is a pretrial motion cutoff at February 5th at 5 p.m.
Got it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Have a good day, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'll see you at 2:15. We have a
Yes,
pleaded.
sir.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Mr. Spiegel, are you there?
I am here, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. I had to put you on my phone because I was just on my computer with another judge, so not a problem.
No, you need me to switch over? Do you need to switch over right now, or?
I can I can switch to my computer if I can do that. That'd be fine.
Whatever works for you, sir. I can see and hear you just fine. So.
Okay, well then I'll just leave it. I don't want to mess that up.
Okay. All right, I've got Tamara Kura, 20 CT 1179.
Judge, and you'll bear with me, I did have an email correspondence with the state, so I guess I have a little bit of an inquiry before I inform the court. It looks like I sent an email regarding some possible resolutions on this case, and I received an email back stating, this is back January 6th, and it looks like I was informed that the state attorney would get back to me, but it wasn't Mr. Lawrence or Rob. Is that, I pronounced that correctly?
It is.
It was
Mr. Rosinko, possibly?
Yes, that's correct.
So
I haven't heard anything back. And that being said, I'm not by any means pointing fingers to the state. We're all busy and have things going on. So if I'm going to ask for a continuance, but I just wanted to see where we're at with that. I guess that's the short of the long.
I have a note from Mr. Rosinko, counsel, stating that he emailed you on January 26th regarding a potential amended offer. But I will let you continue conversations with him. The state has no objection to continuance.
All right. All right, March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
All right,
great. Thank you, Your Honor. Nice to see you. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Take care.
You too.
All right. So, Mr. Rabb, I have
yes, sir.
that Ms. Maurer and Ms. Upson are in front of Foster still.
That is correct, Your Honor. With Ms. Upson, she stated that she doesn't have an issue with continuances if possible.
Wait for her.
Ms. Maurer does need to appear for her case.
I'll wait for her.
Okay.
Mr. Schneider might also be in front of another judge. He never misses court, as far as I know, and I don't know what the story is with Mr. Fritz. He's showed up every time. We've had this case continue several times, so I would expect to see him. So I'm gonna step away for just a moment, but I won't go far.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right.
Hi, Ruby.
Hi, sorry.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Sorry about that.
No problem. I was told that you were in the courtroom.
I was. I just finished up with Foster. I'm still sitting in the hallway.
No problem. All right, I've got a few cases with you today.
Yes.
Pierre Silvestri, 19 MM 246.
Yes, Your Honor. There's a plea in absentia in the court file.
Okay.
And the agreed upon terms in that case are a withhold of adjudication, a $250 fine, and costs.
State, you agree?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right.
I just uploaded this morning an amended plea in absentia because I noticed a typo on my original form. So if you see my typo, disregard. I resent it.
I see the updated one.
Okay.
All right. Just reading the booking sheet now. All right. All right, I've reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find there is a sufficient factual basis and venue. I'm reviewing the plea in absentia. The state has confirmed that the terms are correct. There's also a complete recitation of the rights being waived by the defendant. This is acknowledged by the defendant by his fingerprints before a notary, and there's an attached set of legible prints. Therefore, I find the plea has been freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered, and will impose sentence in just a moment. Let's see. It's going to be for the offense of resisting an officer without withhold of adjudication, $220 in court costs, $250 fine, $50 public fee, $50 cost of prosecution, and 90 days to pay.
That sounds great.
All right. All right, Ruby, just let us know when you're ready to move on to the next case.
All right, Judge, I'm ready. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, next one.
In any particular order?
No.
Okay. I'm asking for a continuance for Raul Paez Figueroa
All right, that's 20 MM 1746. State,
with a
any,
waiver.
any objection, State?
Objection, Your Honor.
All right, March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
And same request for Jason Jukowitz.
All right, 20 MM 187. State,
No objection.
March 3rd, 9 o'clock.
Okay, and the last one I have on this morning's docket is Debbie Amby, case number 20 CT 475, and there's a plea in absentia in the court file.
All right. All right, so what I've got is, so it's DUI, second offense outside of 5 years. The terms are an adjudication, 12 months probation, 12-month license revocation, $1,000 fine. DUI school, SAE, following wrecks, random testing, 10-day impound, vehicle impact panel, 1-year ignition interlock, 30-day sober link, no alcohol provisions, court costs, and cost of prosecution. Are those terms correct?
Yes, and the sober link should be signed up within 48 hours.
She already has it. It's been a condition of bond.
All right.
That is a good point.
Very good. And then count 2.
Can we ask for credit for time served on the sober link? It's been about 6 months.
That's entirely up to the state.
No, the state is requiring an additional time on sober link.
All right.
All right.
Now
Had to ask.
there was a motion to revoke bond.
Correct.
With the sober link.
Sober link is touchy.
I understand. All right. Just because now it's potentially a VOP.
I know.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
All right. Yes, Mr. Rabb?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to read the state does withdraw its motion to revoke, Your Honor, and I guess you were about to read count 2.
I was, yes.
Thank you, sir.
And then refusal to submit to testing, 12 months probation without early termination, to run concurrent.
To run concurrent.
Okay. Substance abuse evaluation, no alcohol, 50 hours community service, which you're agreeing to doing the rate of $10 per hour. Was there 50 community service hours on the DUI?
There was not, because it's a second, so it's not required. So they ordered it on the refusal count.
That's fine. And then all composite costs. All right. State, do you agree that the terms in the plea in absentia are correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I had previously read the probable cause affidavit. I do find there is a sufficient basis and venue. The state has confirmed that the terms of the plea are correct. I have reviewed the plea in absentia. There is a complete recitation of the rights being waived by the defendant. This is acknowledged by the defendant by her signature before a notary and attached set of legible prints. Therefore, I find the plea has been freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered. And Ruby, whenever you're ready, take your time though. So I take it she took my warning seriously at the last motion to revoke bond.
She did. I don't know what happened.
Okay. I really wasn't kidding.
I know. And it wasn't, if you look at it, it was not a positive test. It was a missed.
I understand.
There was a missed time.
All right.
All the pressure's on Ruby.
You're doing a great job, Ruby. There's a lot of terms. Take your time. You're doing just fine.
So Judge, right now we have, it looks like 14 that are currently set, and then whatever we set for tomorrow.
Correct. And obviously some of those are, acknowledged, really just set for status and pleas.
Well, I was, I guess, referring to your DB docket as well. I think you said 7 on Monday. Is that?
I did. All the ones that were set from the DB docket, those are trials, as far as I know.
Yes, sir. And none of them are in custody, from my understanding.
No, we only have one in custody so far, and we'll see what happens with that. Have you ever had a Nelson hearing?
I sort of. I covered for Mr. Cabrera a few weeks ago for juvenile, and the youth wanted to have new counsel or represent herself, so it kind of morphed into 3 different hearings all in once. But Judge Nicola was covering for, I guess, for Judge McGowan, and did a fantastic job. So.
Okay. Yeah,
that was it.
Nelson hearings are interesting. Despite the best efforts of the appointed counsel to stop them from doing so, defendants feel the need to go over everything that was discussed and would otherwise be subject to privilege.
Right.
And I assure you, I will warn the defendant not to do that, and their counsel will warn them not to do that, and they will do it anyway.
Your Honor, I think I'm ready. However, did you need me to enter anything about reporting to probation within a certain time, or?
I'll have her check in today.
Very good. All right.
So we're adding that on to the JNS?
No. I mean,
okay.
Standard requirement. Just has to check in.
Not a problem. All right. Share screen.
Although, I should ask for her to have permission to check in telephonically today, since she lives in Dade, because they'll be transferring probation or doing mail-in, whatever their decision is.
All right. Well, are you asking for mail-in probation as an option?
I'll let probation decide if they want it to be mail-in or in person, but I just need her to be able to check in telephonically today. She can't report in person because she has no license and she doesn't live here.
Right. All right. So let's go ahead and put that in the JNS. May
report telephonically the first time.
So, Your Honor, for that hearing, I was originally preparing for Richardson because we had disclosed new information at the 11th hour. And then it turned into getting an email that the youth wanted new counsel instead of the public defender. So then I was brushing up on Nelson and ultimately Beretta moving forward with that. So it was fun.
Oh.
It's like a crash course.
Yes. Literally. So I'm like, what did you hand me, Mr. Cabrera?
The favorite thing that I saw for Feretta inquiries was Mark Steinbeck would always say this, and it would always crack me up. He would tell defendants, at Nelson hearings, he would always say to the defendants, listen, you're entitled to a Ford, not a Cadillac. And the public defender was like, what? I think I'm pretty good. Like, you call me a beat
like
up
a slap in the face.
Right. You do it every time. I'm just like and every single time the public defender, and I gotta tell you, this happened in Fort Myers in the felony divisions, and those PDs are really good trial lawyers. Mm-hmm. And it just never ceased to crack me up. I'm like, they're actually really good, Judge. I'll say that. Like, all right, moving on. All right, so having found the plea to be freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered, and that there is also a factual basis and venue, I'm going to accept the plea and impose sentence as follows, starting with count 1. for the charge of DUI second offense outside of 5 years. Adjudication of guilt. It's $421 in court costs, or is that the total court costs for the both counts?
It's for the both counts, Your Honor. If you look down here, it says count 1, 168, and then count 2, 33. Yes.
All right. So composite costs of $421, $1,000 fine, $50 cost of prosecution, 1 year ignition interlock, 12 months license revocation, 12 months probation. Special conditions of probation are DUI school appropriate phase, substance abuse evaluation following recommended treatment, subject to random breathalyzer and urinalysis at the defendant's expense, 10-day vehicle immobilization, victim impact panel, 30 days sober link, no possession or consumption of alcohol, no entering bars, taverns, saloons, pubs, lounges, or package stores, no alcoholic beverages in the defendant's residence. These terms are to run concurrent with count 2. And then on count 2, for refusal to submit to testing, adjudication of guilt, substance abuse evaluation following recommended treatment, no possession or consumption of alcoholic beverages, no entering bars, taverns, saloons, pubs, lounges, or package stores, no alcoholic beverages in the defendant's residence. 50 hours of community service, which may be bought out at a rate of $10 per hour. If I didn't already say so, all those were terms of 12 months probation, which will run concurrent with count 1. And was there an agreement of no early term?
On count 2.
On count 2. All right. And the defendant is to report to probation telephonically today.
Correct.
All right. Did I get everything right?
I believe so.
Good job, Ruby.
Thank you.
All right. Was that your last case, ma'am?
I believe so.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks for waiting. I appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
And just to clarify, the state withdrew its motion to revoke bond?
Yes, they did.
Perfect. Okay, just wanted to make sure I added that in there.
All right. So I've got Mr. Schneider with 2 cases and Mr. Fritz. They're no-show, so I'm going to go ahead and continue their cases. I'm just debating whether or not I want to set them all the way to March, or if I want to find an earlier date. Let me take a look here. You know what I'd like to do?
I have, Your Honor, the last notes I have in the file for Mr. Schneider's case, 19 CT 2605.
Yep.
In December is that it was going to be a PIA. It doesn't appear that there's one in showcase. State would certainly have no issue moving that to a closer date for a potential PIA to be filed.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all 3 cases on my non-jury docket on Monday the 1st. And that gives counsel, an opportunity, to get notice so they can appear. I'm sure it's just a calendaring error on their parts. But just for the record, what I'm looking at on my docket, I've got 19 CT 1753, Clarissa Tiger. Defendant and counsel are not present, so I'm going this matter to February 1st at 10 o'clock for a pretrial, but we're putting it on the non-jury trial docket. And I'm going to do the same in 19 CT 2605, Ksenia Margaritova, and 20 CT 607, Christopher Carter. Both of those cases will be moved to February 1st at 10 o'clock for a pretrial, but on the non-jury trial docket. All right. All right. Thank you. Is that everything?
Yes, sir.
All right.